This is Mark chapter 38, and we're going to read through to chapter 13 and verse 2. In his teaching, he was saying, "Beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and like respectful greetings in the marketplace, and chief seats in the synagogues and places of honor at banquets, who devour widows' houses, and for appearance sake offer long prayers. These will receive greater condemnation." And he sat down opposite the treasury, and he began observing how the people were putting money into the treasury, and many rich people were putting in large sums. A poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which amount to a cent. Calling his disciples to him, he said to them, "Truly I say to you, this poor widow put in more than all the contributors to the treasury, for they all put in out of their surplus, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she owned, all she had to live on." As he was going out of the temple, one of the disciples said to him, "Teacher, behold, what wonderful stones and what wonderful buildings." And Jesus said to him, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left upon another, which will not be torn down." Now this is the Lord Jesus. He's in the temple courts, and he's preaching and speaking to the people who will listen to him. And he has just answered all of the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all of their questions, and he's come back at them with his own wisdom, asking them about David, and who said, "The Lord said to my Lord." And he said, well, he's calling him Lord, but is he the son of David? What's going on? And they couldn't answer him. And Jesus comes right back and he says, "Woe to you, scribes. You love the honor of being a scribe, but and the chief places to sit, and the respect you get, but you devour widows' houses." And then the next moment, Jesus is sitting by the treasury, and he is watching people giving large amounts of money into the temple treasury. And he sees a poor widow come, and she puts in 2 small coins, 2 mites, and it's a tiny amount of money, but it's all she has to live on, and she gives all that she has to live into the temple courts and into the treasury of the temple. And Jesus says the rich people gave out of their surplus, but she gave out of her poverty. She put in all she owned, all she had to live on. This is an amazing thing. First of all, Jesus sees these people giving large amounts of money into the temple treasury. Okay. Now, people who give large amounts of money, even though they give out of their surplus, they can use that money for themselves if they wish. They could give it. It might be a deposit for their children, for their house. It might be a holiday. It might be anything. But they've decided to give it into the temple treasury. But they give out of their surplus. But there's this widow. Jesus has already condemned the scribes because they rob widows' households. They devour widows' houses, it says. But here's a woman, a widow. She comes with all that she has to live on, and she puts it into the treasury. And Jesus says she put in more than everybody else. Now the question is, well, what would this woman live on? 2 mites might have bought a loaf of bread, but she gave that as unto the Lord, and she gave it into the treasury, and Jesus commends her because she's going to live and walk by faith. This is a rare thing that anyone should give unto the Lord everything they have to live on. I've heard of many people giving giving away large amounts of money. But here is a woman who is poor, but out of her poverty she gives everything that she has to live on. And God, and I think the Lord Jesus saw it, and she saw that this woman was going to live by faith because she knew, she had an understanding that the Lord would care for her, that she wouldn't need to hold on to her final 2 mites just in case. But she decided to give out of her poverty and give unto the Lord. And then the disciples listen to Jesus, and they go on and they say, wow, look at this temple, look at the amazing things that there are. But Jesus simply isn't interested.